Hey, sorry about that, guys. I know that I actually no, never mind. It's good. So anyway, there was a part where my voice got cut off. I accidentally cut it off, but anyway, so the main character from SVU, her outfit is copied from the TV show as well, which is really funny in my opinion, because SVU is so much of a better show. I mean, it's got a much clearer focus, and the effects of the Beast are absolutely terrible, absolutely horrendous. I don't know why they even try. I mean, you can tell it's from CW. When I first saw ads for this TV show like 2 years ago, I didn't realize that it was on CW, and CW just does not have good effects budget at all. And when I was talking about earlier, where C is confronted by the mercenaries in the subway. Oh my goodness, it's so funny because obviously the main guy who saved her in the beginning saves her in that scene. And then she meets this man who is very suspicious, and she seems very familiar to her. He seems very familiar to her. And then, of course, he has to literally almost tell her that it's him. I mean, he doesn't exactly say it, but she's like, oh, you're him. And I'm just like, what? Of course, it's so obvious. I mean, the entire episode, we know that he's a good guy. Except, of course, he has some traumatic backstory. And in this case, he was in the military, and they experimented on him. Which, right away, when she's, getting intimate, of course, they love each other right away. They're like, oh, yes, we must get lovey-dovey. Just meeting and first contact. Oh, yes, I love you. And they have, an intimate moment. And she's like, oh, did they do something to you? How did you become like this? And then they showed one second of a shot of doctors. And in my mind, I was like, oh, wow, he must have been experimented on. What do you know? He was experimented on. I mean, literally, I didn't even, it was like 1 second before they showed that shot. And I was like, huh, I bet he was experimented on. Because, of course, that's always what they do. Couldn't you come up with something original? Something interesting? But no, I was in the military. I had an interesting military program that forced me to become like this. I signed up because my brother was in the World Trade Center. And then I enlisted right away. Which, okay, I understand why enlisting, but I wish that they'd come up with a better reason for him to join such a program and become like that. That's kind of a boring reason. It's like Captain America, except boring. And then during that same... I've been talking about this one stupid fight scene in the subway. During that same scene, the woman is almost run over by a train. And her solution to not dying is running forward. Forward, not to the sides where she might have a better chance to not get run over, but forward. There is a train. There's a train going forward, and she goes forward. I mean, I hate to, cite... I mean, it's just... I hate to cite Prometheus, but you just look at Prometheus and you think, wow, definitely they drew from Prometheus there. Dropped the ball on that one, didn't they? Let's see. And there's just... And then... The first reaction when C first sees, how funny. When Cat is also a nickname that they gave her. When she first sees the Beast, in, his normal form, obviously, and she's suspicious, her first reaction is to pull out her gun and point it, and she's like, get out where I can see you or I'll have no choice to shoot you. I mean, it's just, trigger finger much? I don't know if that's exactly cop, how you're supposed to do that. And everything was so boring. 90% of the show, I was so bored because everything is like Pretty Little Liars has the same problem. God, I hate talking about Pretty Little Liars, but it has the same problem as Pretty Little Liars in the fact that the cinematography is really boring. And it's just, I mean, there are like 2 good shots that are alright. And one was for like half a second when it's following a man who's fallen on the ground. It's in slow motion, which I just have a bias because I like slow motion. And it was so strange. It was so strange that it was only 2. And another was just lighting. A little bit of lighting, but nothing really that interesting. Nothing to keep you awake. A lot of boring dialogue that you've heard a million times in cop shows. And they kind of give away the mystery of the killer who kills some random lady at the beginning of the episode. It's not the Beast, obviously. Of course it's not the Beast. It's not going to be the Beast. And then he's revealed to be some, is this woman who's been having an affair. It's always the affair. I just feel like they have a cookbook, instead of the teen drama cookbook, they have the cop show cookbook and checklist. Oh, you say, oh yes, I'd like a sprinkle of boring dialogue and just a drop of interesting. Just a micro drop of interesting things. And then we want a crap load of garbage effects and moronic dialogue. And my favorite thing, I'm not going to talk. This is the last point I'm going to make. This is definitely my favorite line from this episode. So when the police are looking for suspects to the murder case, they come across this one fashion industry lady, and she has a trash bag, not really a trash bag, but like a bag, a box of items. And of course, Kat, being the great detective she is, she starts digging through the person's stuff without even asking or having a warrant. And they're like, oh, hey, a pregnancy test. Oh, wow, we're great detectives, right? And then, oh my goodness, it's priceless. They find out who the main killer was, and their reasoning was like, you're the one who had the pregnancy test. You had crackers. That's why you had saltines, because you had the pregnancy test. Now, I don't know if that's how pregnancy tests work, if you need saltines to do it, but that is just the most moronic reasoning ever. I feel like I could be a better detective than either of the main cops are. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of all I have. I kind of just stopped taking notes because it's just so repetitive. I mean, you've seen it a million times in a million better shows. This show just made me want to watch Supernatural. I don't think I'm going to analyze the whole show. I think I'm just going to start analyzing pilots of this series. So, thank you so much for watching. This has been TV shows through time. And please never watch Beauty and the Beast. I'm giving this show a rating of Cliche Central. Alright, this has been Niko Kolev. I'll see you next time. Bye.